All right, the Democrats' election playbook is now in full swing. According to the left, if you support Donald Trump or you have conservative opinions, you're no longer a decent human being. Instead, well, according to them, you're xenophobic, Islamophobic, homophobic, racist, sexist, misogynist. You want dirty air, you want dirty water. You definitely want to take grandma and throw her right over the cliff. And by the way, you want children to die. Oh, and by the way, we are the smelly Walmart shoppers, the irredeemable deplorables. You know, we're the people that cling to our God, our guns, our Bibles, and religion. Now, this is especially true during the age of Trump. Now, we've seen the president's allies kicked out of restaurants, shouted down on the street, harassed in front of their own homes, front yards, and the most vicious attacks even against women and even against the president's children and grandchildren. So it's no surprise that our own Judge Jeanine Pirro was not warmly welcomed during her guest appearance on The View on ABC. By the way, Disney, are you proud of this? Take a look.
Here's my question for you, because you talk about
I am not, Judge.
Nobody is.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just point at me?
Yes.
Listen, I don't have Trump derangement. There have been a lot of people in office that I didn't agree with, but I have never, ever seen anything like this. I've never seen anybody whip up such hate. I've never seen anybody be so dismissive. How long has the deep state been there, and who's running it?
Well, I want to answer your question, because you had
you a question.
You had your opening statement, which was how horrible it is that Donald Trump is talking about all of these people.
Sorry,
you know what
that's
I think
what you
is horrible?
said. You said,
but you know what's horrible?
That
when people who shouldn't be here end up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible? When the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people. Say goodbye.
All right, so I spoke with Judge Pirro right after that appearance. It got much worse backstage, and she will join us tonight in just a moment with a lot more. And, of course, for the entire week, the left's anti-Trump echo chamber has been on super, super duper high alert. Now, the president's meeting with Vladimir Putin has been compared, let's see, to the Holocaust, Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and the rhetoric has been absolutely psychotic. Front page of The New Yorker, look at this, featuring a cartoon showing a dead President Trump face down at the bottom of an escalator. Great, his kids have to see that. His grandkids have to see that. And Time magazine featuring this ominous-looking Putin-Trump hybrid. And by the way, on TV, over just the past 24 hours alone, not the earlier 48 hours, the anti-Trump hysteria is even worse. They're all in a state of panic. The economy's doing well. We're safer than we've been. And they know they're going to lose the next election. They're scared. Take a look.
Did the president share classified information with Putin? Did the president take other steps beyond those that he took so publicly to undermine the security of the United States?
This president is very happy making himself a client of Vladimir Putin. Who knows what they talked about behind closed doors?
He's aiding and abetting the enemy.
I can't believe this is something I'm saying about the President of the United States, but it made me wonder if people are suspicious that he revealed sensitive classified intelligence, including human source information, to the President of the Russian Federation.
What Putin does is exactly what Trump does, or what Trump does is what Putin does, which is they lie for a living.
I'm about as shaky as I have felt since the night he won. Back then, my biggest fear was we had elected an asset of the Russian government who would sell out America at every opportunity just to save his own hide. My biggest fear now is that I was right.
All right, despite what you just saw, President Trump has a long track record countering the malicious actions of Vladimir Putin, something that President Obama did not have. Now, the president armed Ukraine. He increased sanctions on Russia. He increased funding at NATO. He slapped severe financial restrictions on some of Vladimir Putin's closest allies. He authorized a counterattack as Putin was backing soldiers inside of Syria, killing hundreds of Russians. And remember their hostile takeover in Crimea, in Ukraine? Well, Putin's power grab in Syria and all this election meddling you're hearing so much about, it all happened on Obama's watch. He was the president. Just like giving Putin 20% of America's uranium, that was on Obama's watch. So the foundational material for nuclear weapons was given to Putin and Russia, the bad actor, the hostile regime, while Obama was president. Nobody in the media mentioned this all week. Now, you think you'll hear about this if you turn on conspiracy TV, MSNBC, fake news CNN? I tend to doubt it. So today, President Trump, once again, he reiterated his commitment to countering Putin. He issued a very stern warning. This is what we call peace through strength. Judge for yourself. Take a look.
Look at the sanctions I've put on. Look at the diplomats I threw out. Look at all of the things that I've done. Nobody else did what I've done. Obama didn't do it. Obama was a patsy for Russia. He was a total patsy. Look at the statement he made where he thought the mics were turned off, okay? The stupid statement he made. Nobody does a big deal about that. Getting along with President Putin, getting along with Russia is a positive, not a negative. Right. Now, with that being said, if that doesn't work out, I'll be the worst enemy he's ever had.
That doesn't work out, he'll be the worst enemy he's ever had. But for the sake of the world, our kids, let's hope it works out. And while the media is obsessing about Russia, 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 I'd like to remind these so-called journalists that it's a very big world out there. There's a lot of complex issues in this world, and maybe, just maybe, Russia isn't even our biggest international foe. Now let's listen to what the FBI Director Christopher Wray said yesterday.
China, from a counterintelligence perspective, in many ways represents the broadest, most challenging, most significant threat we face as a country. And I say that because for them, it is a whole-of-state effort. It is economic espionage as well as traditional espionage. It is non-traditional collectors as well as traditional intelligence operatives. It's human sources as well as cyber means. We have economic espionage investigations in every state, all 50 states, that trace back to China.
That's right, China, not Russia. All right, someone may want to tell the left in this country that there's more to life than Vladimir Putin. So why isn't the media obsessing about the China threat? Where's the hysteria over Chinese hacking and aggressive military actions in the Pacific, currency manipulation, theft of intellectual property? While the left is spinning out of control over Russia, well, right here on Hannity, we report the full story. President Trump is keenly aware that the geopolitical threat that is posed by all of these bad actors, including China, and has long called them out in a very public way. Take a look.
Just remember, we're the bank. We're the bank that everybody wants to steal from and plunder. And it can't be that way anymore. We lost $500 billion last year with China.
We are going to end the theft of American intellectual property, crack down on China's trade abuses, and confront countries that cheat. I also had a very candid conversation with President Xi about the need to reduce our staggering trade deficit with China and for our trading relationship to be conducted on a truly fair and equitable basis. We can no longer tolerate unfair trading practices that steal American jobs, wealth, and intellectual property.
And as usual, the president's words are backed up with tough action, crippling tariffs, upgrading missile defense systems to China's neighbors, reaffirming America's commitments to Taiwan, and turning the screws on North Korea. We'll have more on the president and the president's geopolitical peace through strength strategy throughout the show tonight. But first, we've got to turn to a very shocking story. It should make your blood boil. You know, the sanctuary city of San Francisco, they're now spitting in the face of every single law-abiding American tonight. City officials are now permitting illegal immigrants, other non-citizens, to register to vote in November's election. That's right. You can't make this up. They're allowing this. Barring any future legal action, illegal immigrants will now be among those in San Francisco who get to vote in certain local elections. Now, this is just one more obvious sign that the left in this country, they don't care about the rule of law, our Constitution, about the rights of the many. They don't believe in borders. They have no agenda to improve America. Instead, they want to regain power at all costs. Well, for 2018, it's simple. They want their crumbs back. They want to rescind the tax cuts. They want to impeach Trump, but they're trying to tell everybody not to say it publicly. They want to preserve Obama's legacy, keep your doctor plan and pay less. They want Obamacare to stay. They want to block the president's Supreme Court choices and the confirmation of Justice Kavanaugh. And that's right. You can see it. They want open borders also. They're not proposing one thing that'll solve any problem for any American citizen. It is without a doubt the most important midterm election in our lifetime. The future of this country is at stake. They want to undo the 2016 election. And finally tonight, we do have a breaking news story from John Solomon. He's highlighting an underreported text from the corrupt FBI investigator Peter Strzok to his girlfriend Lisa Page. Now, the text reads, an investigation leading to impeachment? You and I both know the odds are nothing. And Strzok goes on and he says, quote, there's no big there. Now, the timing of this text is incredibly telling. It's just 2 days after Robert Mueller was appointed to conduct this witch hunt on Trump-Russia collusion. And according to Solomon, while Peter Strzok refused to answer what this text was referring to, Lisa Page, behind closed doors, did in fact confirm that the text referred to the quality of the Russia case that he was leading. So there's no big there, and there never was. And here we are 428 days later, millions of dollars later. This never-ending divide and fishing expedition rolls on. Show us the evidence, Mr. Mueller, in your pit bull, Andrew Weissman. Why did you ever appoint a guy that had that much corruption in his background? Really? Withholding exculpatory evidence, beaten 9-0 in the Supreme Court, sending innocent people to jail for a year, overturned by the Fifth Circuit, tens of thousands of Americans lost their job. He's your number one guy? Really? And then you can't find a single Republican to put on your team? Not one? Just a merry band of Hillary supporters and Democratic donors.